Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Just Our Thoughts. What's going on? This is your boy Keith, host of Just Our Thoughts with the fellas. Today we are continue our conversation with fathers, and I got a dope dad with me, Rasheed Pollard, who's going to hang out with us and talk about fatherhood, what fatherhood means to him, and what his father meant to him, and the role that he plays in his children's life. So if you can, just go to Just Our Thoughts fan page on YouTube. Go to just JOT with the fellas on Instagram. You can find all our conversations on all streaming services. We talk about national news. We talk about trending topics. We touch on current events and culturally relevant topics as well. We also have some core conversation this month on Just Our Thoughts. We are hanging out with all the men. We're highlighting these dope behind dads, these dads that don't get any publicity, but just do the work just because they know that's what the work is to do. So today, again, we got Rasheed Pollard, my man. What's up, Pop?
What's good, Keith? What's
What's
good, man?
going
Thanks
on,
for
man?
bringing me on, bro. Everything's great, man.
Yo,
Everything's great.
Pop.
How you? How you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was looking forward to having this conversation. You and I, we touched base last week a little bit, and our schedules were a little bit different, man. But this conversation with you, knowing a little bit of of your journey and where you are now, man, I was definitely looking forward to this conversation, man. And I know for certain the things that you bring to the table, your heart, your thought process, man, will be inspirational to not if not just a few, but to many fathers, man. Some other fathers that want to get back into their child's lives. Some fathers that need some reassurance and some confidence, man, and know that what, I am enough, to fill this role. So I wanted to have this conversation with you, man. I've had many conversations with men over the last month. 2 weeks, man. Fellas are excited. When it comes to this conversation, man, talking about fatherhood, man, I was talking to one of my buddies and he just jumped out. Yo, Keith, man, this fatherhood thing. I'm like, hold up. Let us sit down. Let's have this conversation. So it's been great, man. It's been therapeutic for me to hear the hearts of a man. So, so Pop, man, tell me a little bit about yourself, man, if you don't mind.
I'm Camden, New Jersey, born and raised. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Basically, I'm a hardworking guy. Just want to take care of my family, man. Do for my people, do for the youth, in terms of mentoring and coaching and just helping kids get to college, helping kids become good young people, good people in general, and I feel like it's my duty as a black man to make sure I'm doing my part for our youth and our families, um, and that's about it, man. I ain't, I'm not trying to, I'm not looking for no huge accolades or anything like that. I just do what I do what God called me to do.
That's
I
what's
do
up.
what God called me to do.
So in this fatherhood space, and as we celebrate not only Father's Day but Men's Month,
Yes.
in that fatherhood space, man, how many children do you have, Pop?
Technically, I have 10.
Pop
with
said
my,
technically.
yeah, with my my 7 and then my wife's 3. It's 10 of them total. So
Right.
we got a clan, man.
We got a claim.
We got a clan, yeah. But it's cool. Most of them are over 18.
Okay. Okay.
I still got my youngest son. He's 17. My baby girl, she's 12. She'll be 13. God willing, July 5th. So we still, we got a few more years of strict parenting. You're always gonna be parenting, no matter what.
Right.
Just like we go back to our parents when we, got to talk about something or need something, or they're gonna forever come to us until we're gone. So
Yeah.
yeah. But it's man, I love being a father, man, and
Yeah.
it's just it's a great experience, man.
Hmm.
It's a great experience, you know, teaching your kids, guiding your kids. It's not so fun when your kids don't listen, though. Of course,
Hmm.
that,
Right.
and then all their troubles fall on your lap, and now
Hmm.
you got to be the savior. You got to be, the problem solver. And it's like, well, if you had listened to me or your
Right.
mom or who,
Right.
just
Right.
somebody that older than you that's been there, you
Right.
probably wouldn't be in this situation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's a great experience, man. And every day is different, man.
Yeah. Sure.
Every day is
Sure.
different. Every day
Sure.
is different, especially when you got boys and girls. it's like, man, like my clan is 6 boys and 4 girls. So you know what I
calling
mean?
them a clan.
Yeah, and you know, you have your kids that's going to challenge you. You have your kids that's going, you know, that's going not challenge you and just going, you know, kind of be, you know, like I'm gonna do things, you know, as straight and narrow as I can without my parents having to, you know, get on my back. But, you know, overall, man, I love it, man. You know, the ones that, you know, the ones that, you know, go astray a little bit, you know, you gotta really kind of try to keep them tight. You know what I'm saying? And when they make a mistake, you know, you can't get down on them. You can't, like, you know, really like be on them, you know, rah,
on top
you
of
know what
them.
I'm saying? Because
Sure.
they're already going through whatever it is they're going through, but you just got to look at them and say, like, you know, I told you, you know, you didn't listen. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to support you. I'm never going to turn my back as your father. I'm never going to turn my back. You know what I'm saying? Never going to turn my back no matter what you're going through. I'm never going to turn my back. But if you're wrong, you're going to have, you know, I'm going to hold you accountable and you're going to hold yourself accountable.
Sure. Pop, what was the feeling like? How old is your oldest?
My oldest is 26. She's 26.
What was your feeling? So I guess I would say 27 years ago, or almost 27 years ago. What was that feeling when you first initially found out that you were expecting a child? What was that feeling?
Yeah, she's actually my stepdaughter. So when I came into her life, she was 3 years old.
Okay.
But it was like, you know, it don't even matter that she ain't mine. You know what I mean? She's you know, she's a child. You know, you know, and I decided that, you know, I'm going to be in a relationship with her mom. So you know, she's mine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's mine. But it was, you know, it was you know, it was a great feeling. You know, it was a great feeling. But you know, to answer your question, my son, you know, he'll be 22 on Wednesday.
Okay,
but you know, when I first found out that, you know, he you know, his mom was pregnant with him, I was kind of nervous. I was kind of scared because I was in college. I'm playing ball, and it's like, man, I'm not ready for a kid. I was, you know, I wanted to go to the NFL before I actually, you know, started a family because I wanted to be financially secure. But you know, that doesn't always happen. You know, but I was excited. You know what I mean? Excited, scared, not knowing really, you know, what to expect as far as, you know, what's it gonna be like to have my own, you know what I mean, my own child. Like, you know, but you know, at the end of the day, everybody gets treated the same.
Sure.
You know, stepchildren, biological children, everybody gets treated the same. There's no difference. I love everybody the same. You know, and you know, it's a great feeling, man. I love it, man. I'm actually, you know, I tell my boy, I was talking to my boy earlier about grandchildren. And I'm like, you know, I'm not trying to rush my kids or, you know, but you know, I'm 43, you know, God willing, I'll be 44, but I'm ready for grandkids, man. I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to have my little grandson or granddaughter. And I just be like, yo, you know, call my kids, hey, bring them over. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. You got to go to work. You know, I ain't doing nothing. It's the weekend. I'm off work. Bring them over. You know what I'm saying? I just want to spend some time with my kid, my grandkid, and spoil them. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. And because, you know, you can always send them home.
you mentioned, you know, that nervousness. I've talked to men pretty much my entire life, just about, you know, whether it was men's ministry, whether it was counseling men, you know, whether it was myself. And I remember my daughter's 16. I remember and vividly when I found out, and I was nervous as all hell, you know, and my nervousness was, am I going to be able to be that father that she needs? You know, I know for me, you know, I never saw that father. You know, would you say that? Where did your nervousness come from? Where did your hesitancy or the fear come from when you found out?
Mine came from, I guess, you know, just not being financially stable to take care of a family, take care of a child. Although, you know, I was already a stepfather, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like now it's like, now it's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like now you got your own that, you know, that you really have to step your game up. And it was just a fear of, you know, not wanting to fail. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to fail my kids. I don't want to fail their mother. I don't want to fail myself. Like, I don't want to fail my family. You know what I'm saying? So that was the fear right there. And just like, damn, like, you know, it's really happening. And I'm only, you know, I'm 21 years old, almost 22. And it's like, man, I hadn't planned to, you know, have kids until I was, you know, financially stable. But, you know, it happened, you know, before, you know, I was even had a stable job. You know what I'm saying? I was a college kid playing football, like I said, trying to get to the NFL. But, you know, I adapted, man. And so far, you know, it's been a rocky road. You know, it's been a rocky road. But, you know, you learn. You know, you learn and you grow. You get stronger. you know, and it's great, man. I love it, you know.
It is one
I,
of those type of jobs, man, that is a on the job training
yeah, ain't no
type of
manual
job.
that come
Yeah,
with
there's no
it.
manual. There's no
There's
manual.
no manual,
Yeah,
no instructions, no
no
directions of
nothing.
how to do
It's
this,
figuring
nothing,
out.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what, if you don't mind talking about, I don't know if you were father, if you don't mind talking about that experience
Well,
for
you know,
your.
my dad. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish up.
No,
Finish up.
no, no. I'm just saying, if you don't mind talking about that experience of being fathered,
Yeah.
if you were, fathered by your dad or someone else, or if there was if there wasn't a father in your life.
Yeah. Well, I was fortunate enough to have, you know, a father and a stepfather.
Ooh,
You know,
nice,
my
nice.
father, you know, he was a great man, cool
Hmm.
dad, man. You know, like someone that you could, you know, just go to talk about things, you know. But unfortunately, he passed when I was 15. You
Okay,
know, a few
okay.
months before my 16th birthday, you know, he
Hmm.
passed away. Um, so, um, you know, so he really didn't get to see me grow. He never seen me play football. He never
Hmm.
seen me run track, basketball, nothing, you know. Um, so it was like he died at a pivotal time in my life when I really,
Right.
really needed him.
Sure. Sure.
You know, my
Sure.
stepfather, you know, he passed away the next year. You know, a month after my 17th birthday, he passed away.
Right.
So for the past, well, I'll be 44. So the past 24 years, I pretty much been living without a father or a stepfather.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I mean, my brother, he stepped up huge when my stepfather passed away in
Sure.
'94. You know, my brother, you know, my oldest brother, Monty, he stepped up big time in terms of, you know, being a big brother and a father figure and just,
Hmm.
you know, guiding me and teaching me, you know, how to be a man. And I watched how he was with his kids and his family, you know, and I learned a lot from him. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So, um, my father was, you know, he was good when he was, you know, when he was here. You know, he
Right.
had his vices or whatever, but you know, he was good to me. He was good to my siblings. You know, and I'm the baby of my mom's kids and my dad's kids.
Gotcha.
So it was like, you know, and they're all way older than me. So it was like all attention was on me when it was my
Yeah.
time, you know, to get attention from dad. But man, I miss my dad and my stepdad so much, and I
Yeah.
wish that I had them here as a grown man because I know our relationship would be great and
Sure.
they would love
Sure.
on my
Sure.
kids so much, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they both were good people,
That's what's up.
both good men to me. You know what I mean? And I miss them, and that's why I say I'm so eager to be a grandfather because they both die at young ages. You know, they
Mm.
both died, you know, in their 40s. So I'm like, man, I'm 43. I never know when I'm going to leave here. I
Right.
mean, I'm
Right.
in pretty good health. Excuse me, but you know, um, I'm eager to be a grandfather, man, because
Yeah.
I want to experience that. You know, my father, he experienced that with my older siblings, you know, kids or whatever, but
Right.
he didn't get
Right.
to see my kids. And sometimes I think about that, like, man, I know my dad, you know what I mean, and my stepdad, they probably be fighting over the kids. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, nah, I got them this weekend, I got them this weekend, you know. But man, it's hard sometimes, like thinking about them, you know, like
Hmm.
Father's Day, you know, birthdays, and just sometimes I just be, you know, when I need a father or a father figure to
Sure.
talk to,
Sure.
you know,
Right.
like I tell some of my boys, you know, like I was talking to my boy Brian earlier, you know, his father is still around, and I'm like, you know, they got a cool relationship, but it's not, you know, like where he would like for it to be. But I'm
Right.
like, look, man, you know, you still got your dad here, you know, and you know whatever differences y'all may have or may have had, you know what I mean, just to leave that, you know, just forget about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you still
Yeah.
got your dad here. He can spend time with your kids. You know, y'all can hang out. You know what I mean? Do grown man things. Y'all can have grown man conversations. I
Right.
can't do that, man.
Yeah.
I tell my cousins that, you know, everybody around me that's grown men that has still had their fathers in their lives. You know, I tell them, man, you know, have a good relationship with your dad, man, because I wish I had that.
Hmm.
I wish I had that, man. And I try to keep, you know, a close bond with my kids and let my sons, you know, let them know, like, yo, like anything you want to talk about, anything you
Yeah.
need to
I'm
talk
here.
about, like, come to me. Like, I'm your father. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to be afraid to talk to me about anything. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And same for my daughters. Like, talk to me. Like, you got a father. Like, I'm just not some dude just walking around. Like, you know,
Right.
you need to
Right.
talk to me. Hit me up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And let me know that you need to talk because I may not, you know, I'm not going to always be here. And we don't know
Right.
when, you know, we don't know when we're going to leave here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know, in terms of, you know, being a father and having my father, you know, it's been 27 years since my stepfather passed away, 28 years since my father passed away. So it's been rough, man.
Yeah.
Growing up,
Sure.
even though my brother stepped up and I had coaches, football coaches, basketball coaches, those guys, did a great job and they helped mold me into the man that I am today. But still, that void is still there at times when I need that conversation with dad. You know what I'm saying?
But if we sat down and talked to, your 10, your clan, as you call them, what are the common things that they say about you?
They probably
that will let them know that you love them. What is one of the common things that they'll say about you, where they could say, my dad does this, my dad either says this, or this is the way that he shows his love?
Yeah, I think it is me being strict when it comes to grades, and I'm not rewarding you if you're not doing what you're supposed to do in school. I'm not gonna hold your hand and let you keep making mistakes. I'm gonna let you go out and learn things on your own. But what I tell them most is, you gotta do what you have to do now, because for your own future, because we don't come from a rich family. We have zero room for error. You can't go out here and throw your life away and do all this nonsense and catch charges, or have all these kids and do all this nonsense, and you're not financially established. You don't have an education, you don't have a good job. You got to do what you got to do now, so that you can do what you want to do later. So the thing that I preach most to my kids is just education, getting a good having a good career, and just following the right path, and not going going to the side where there's nothing positive coming from it.
Are you affectionate? Are you affectionate, father?
I don't know. Maybe more with my girls than I am with my sons.
Okay.
But I would say I show tough love.
Okay. What does that look like?
Huh?
What does that look like? The way you show tough love?
When you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna get on you. But when you are doing what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna praise you.
I got you.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Keep doing, what you're supposed to do, because I expect that from you. Your mom expect that from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't expect you to go out here and make the same mistakes that we made. We don't want you to do that, because that's just going to put you in the same situation, that we're in as middle-aged, adults, who invested a lot of time in something that we shouldn't have invested in. And had we, used our early 20s, getting our education and pursuing a real career, we would be making, six figures, or we would be doing much better than we are now. We don't want our kids to make the same mistakes. So I constantly preach doing what you have to do for yourself, doing what you have to do for yourself professionally, personally, socially, and just making sure that you good with a career, a real career that's going to make you some good money, so you can take care of yourself. Because, who wants to go from job to job, making pennies? Like, that's not, there's no stability there. You know what I'm saying?
Putting yourself in that position.
Yeah. And if you don't do what you have to do now, you're going to be 40 something years old still doing that. I mean, I finally got, with the water company, and it's a very stable job. It's a lot of, it's room for growth. You got benefits, you got insurance, 401k. So it's pretty good for a man, in his 40s or early 40s or whatever, to land a job like that, because there's a lot of stability there. That's like, that's a pretty, you put yourself in a pretty good situation, or God puts you in a pretty good situation to be, to make some good money to take care of your family, after, like I always like to say, I wasted 20 years of my life, running the streets, in and out of the streets, in and out of the game. I always kept a job, and I was, in school. I take a semester off. But those 20 years that I invested, I could have been a doctor, man. You know what I'm saying? I could have been a doctor, a lawyer, a judge. And I look back on that, and my son is 22, and I tell him, like, yo, like, he's a brainiac too. And he went astray for a little bit, but he got himself together, got a decent job for a 22-year-old with no kids, no real responsibilities, and he's about to go back to school. I'm like, listen, go pursue your accounting degree like you started. When you first went to college, you went to play football, you went to pursue an accounting degree. So, pick back up on that. Yeah, go get that, because accountants make great money.
Pop, you mentioned a little bit earlier, man. You mentioned how you you want them to talk to you. You want them to be open to you. You want them to be, able to talk to you about anything that's on their heart, anything that's on their mind. Is there anything that keeps you from being vulnerable and transparent around them?
Nah, I don't think so. I
None.
mean, I could be wrong. I don't think so because you know, I'm a person that opens up to, opens up to my close loved ones, my family,
Right.
my close
Right.
friends, and
Right. That's just who you are.
yeah, I don't mind sharing when I'm not, when I'm not in a good space. I don't share. Of course, I don't share it with everybody, but
Right.
I can go to my wife or I can go to my best friend, or my fellas in my circle and tell them, look, man, things just ain't right now. I'm going through
Hmm.
something, you know what I mean, and I'm trying to
Right.
figure it
Right.
out. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Because if
Right.
you don't let that out, I used to be the type of person that hold everything in. You know what I
Really.
mean? But I learned to, to let it out and talk about it because if you don't talk about it, man, you're gonna go crazy, man. You're gonna go crazy. You have to be somewhat vulnerable and be able to open up to people,
Right. Right.
that you love, not just anybody, but those that you trust, those that you love, and those that you feel like will keep your business between you and them.
Right, right, right. And I think that's the level of trust that you, it sounds like that's the high level of trust that you've established with your kids, that they can trust you with them pouring out, that
Yeah.
everything that they say stays there. They don't have to, it won't go back to their mom or go into a space where, if they begin to feel uncomfortable or awkward.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so no, I think that's one thing that sometimes parents often don't do, and it's their choice whether they're vulnerable and transparent or not. But I do think it helps to parent more
Uh-huh.
when it comes to being, talking about your mistakes. This is where I messed up. This
Yeah.
is where I fell short. Now we're gonna keep it moving. You
Uh-huh.
know, what are some of the things that you may have learned as a dad from either your watching them from your sons or from your daughter? What are some of the things that you've learned, about yourself when it comes to parenting?
I learned that sometimes I could be too hard on them. I learned that um, basically I could be too hard on them. Sometimes I probably put too much pressure on them, but I
Hmm.
put pressure on them to be great. To
Is
be
it
good people, to be good, law abiding, productive people that give back.
is it
You
hard to
know,
find that balance?
um, I'm not sure. I can't even say. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I don't think it is. I
Okay.
don't think it is because it kind of comes natural.
Okay.
Um, so I wouldn't say that it's hard to find that balance.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's hard to find that balance.
Yeah. So no, I was just, I know sometimes it's, I'm on you because I know as a father, you
Yeah.
know, but at times I don't need to be on you. I could think about my son, I think one of the greatest things I learned from my son was that, and we're similar in so many ways, but we're different in so many ways. It's certain things that someone can say to me that I could take, certain things that I'll say to him, he'll internalize, and he may not fight himself through that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So finding that balance, Pop, for me, it took a couple years, and I had to rethink the way that I parented and the way that I parented him, so because I wanted to make sure he got the point,
Uh huh.
so, talk about you already talked about your parenting styles, what do you think about words that you can leave for people that are expecting? What are some words that you can leave for people that are expecting, some fathers that are expecting they're expecting a child, new dads that like us, we had no clue what to
Yeah.
expect. We was fearful, we were hesitant, for me, I
Yeah.
wasn't fathered. So
Yeah.
like what would you say to some expectant dads?
I would say trust in God, man. Believe in
Mm,
God. You know, God. Without God, man, none of this is possible, man. I over the years I've become so spiritual.
mhm.
Not so much religious because religion is division.
Right.
But I'm very spiritual, and my belief, my faith in God got me through some rough times. But I would say have faith in God, man. You know, don't. You know, you can be afraid, but everything is going to be fine. You know, just continue to, you know, want to be a great father. That's number one. You got to want to be a great father. You know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna be perfect. You're gonna have your ups and downs, you know. But for the most part, as long as you're grounded with, you know, you're grounded spiritually, and you're working, you know, don't matter if you're pumping gas or if you're a Fortune 500 CEO. As long as you're doing what you have to do for your child, you know what I mean? You just keep working hard to move up the ladder. It's gonna happen, man, because God rewards you for your heart, you know, for your heart, for your efforts and your hard work, your loyalty to Him, you know, and you know, do what you got to do for your kid. If you're a father that grew up without your father, you know, then I know you want to be a great father, and it's okay to be scared. You know, it's okay to be scared. But you know, after you know the child is born, man, the way they smell, the way they feel, you know, it's something about a newborn child, man. That scent when they come out
that brings that joy.
Yeah, when they come out of the womb, you know, you fall in love instantly. You fall in love instantly. All your problems go away. It's like, man, I got something to live for now. You know what I'm saying? If you never felt like you had anything to live for, when that child is born, man, you got something to live for, man. That's the greatest feeling. They always say, you know, having a child is the greatest feeling in the world, and I believe that, man. I believe that because it's like that baby just make you feel so great, no matter what space you're in mentally or emotionally. When that child is born and you get to hold that child for the first time, it's like, man, this is mine.
This is mine.
You know what I'm saying? This is mine, and I'm responsible. You know, but I would say to the fellas, man, keep faith in God, work hard. You know, keep just work hard and focus on being a great dad. Focus on guiding your child, your family. If you're not with the mother, try to keep a good relationship with the mother. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's not about y'all anymore. It's about the kid.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If y'all got a good, healthy relationship and that kid sees that and he knows that my mom and my dad, you know, they got a good friendship. They both love me. And that kid is going to be a good kid. He or she is going to be a good kid. But, you know, you're going to have your fears. You're going to, you're going to have doubts, you know, at times. But, man, as long as you're willing to do it, long as you're willing to be a good father and you're making an effort and you're working and you're doing what you got to do, everything going to fall in place for the better, man.
Yeah,
everything's going to fall in place, man. Yeah. Fellas, everything's going to fall in place.
Hey, Pop, I want to go back real fast. I got two more questions. I want to go back. You mentioned, you know, you was doing your thing for about 20 years. I think you might have mentioned that for a period of time. And in the game.
Yeah, I was in and out. I was in and out for about 20 years.
What? For about 20? That's a long time, man.
Yeah. Only thing I got to show for it is that I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm free and I'm alive.
I know that's right, and that's a great thing.
That I learned everything that I learned from it.
Do you think some of the things influence how you parent now? Some of the things Okay. In what way?
In terms of, you know, not wanting my sons to get caught up in the streets. You know, you know, telling them stay away from the drugs, stay away from, you know, the fast life, and you know, stay away from things that's gonna put you in prison because you don't get that time back. You know what I mean? You like God didn't put us here to waste our time in jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He put us here for a purpose. Everybody has a purpose, and everybody, you know, we all have a job to do while we're here. We all have a job to do, no matter what it is. You know, everybody has different jobs to do, but we all have a job to do until He calls us home. And our job is not to go to jail and waste, you know, our time, our precious time that He gave us. You know, I always like to say that, you know, time is the most valuable borrowed asset that we have. You know what I mean? Because we're not going to be here forever. So while we're here, we got to make the best of it. We got to do God's work and you know, make the best of it, man. And I tell my daughters, don't get caught up with them knuckleheads, you know, out there in the streets. You know, if he ain't doing what he's supposed to do, if he ain't working hard like you're working, if he ain't into what you're into, you know, you in college and you dealing with a man that can't even read. That makes no sense. He's not doing anything but holding you back. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't got time to be trying to, you know, save somebody from, you know, something that they don't want to save themselves from. You know, we got to get where we need to be. Then we can come back. When we get to where we need to be, then we can come back and start saving some people or start helping some people. But don't get caught up in no knuckleheads that's gonna be disrespecting you. You know, that's gonna, you know, mistreat you. If they don't, if he's not going to treat you like you've seen me treat your mom, you
Wow.
know, or my
Yeah.
current wife, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you can't be involved with that. You shouldn't be involved with that type of man, because that
Yeah.
man doesn't really love you. He doesn't really care about you. He just wants to get what he can get from you and keep it moving.
Mm.
You know.
Pop, what legacy would you like to leave to your kids?
I would like to leave the legacy of just being somebody, being a person, a friend, a father, a brother, a cousin,
Hmm.
you know, a human being that is, you know, reliable, dependable, you know, a person that cares for the people, a
Hmm.
person that's always there to help, you know, make things better for people. You
Right.
know, I want to
Right.
be, you know, I want to leave the legacy of a man, you know, that's just, you can always count on me. You
A
know
great
that I'm
citizen.
here for you, huh?
Yeah. A great citizen.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you know, when people speak my name, I want people to say, you know, oh yeah, Pop, he was a good dude.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
that made a difference in the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just some knucklehead running around, you know, causing havoc, or, you know, not just a selfish guy that wanted everything for himself, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
and didn't want to do for the people. I want to
Hmm.
be known as somebody, you know, somebody that really contributed to the good things in Camden. Because I mean, when I was in the streets, I mean, I never shot at anybody. I never, you know, caused harm to anybody, you know,
Right.
because I just never got into that, because I never carried myself, you know, like that. And
Right.
you know, I try to stay out of trouble. You know, I just get my money and mind my business, and I
Yeah.
respect
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
respected me. But I mean, just being in that lifestyle, I contributed to, you know, the
Mm.
problems in our city.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
you know, it's my duty to give back and to
Right.
help right my wrongs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so in terms of my legacy, I just want to be known as somebody that was a good person. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? A good person,
Sure.
a loving person, a caring person, and a
That's
person
great.
that you know, that always wanted to, you know, make things better for his people. And I want my kids to, you know, to know that and to understand that and realize that, you know, my dad is somebody, you know, important in the city. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? My dad is somebody that's important in life in general, because
Right.
it's not just me helping people in my city. You know, I've
Hmm.
done things for people outside this city, people outside this
Right.
state. You know, friends that, you know, that called on me for things, and I was there for them, because that's just who I
Nice.
am. You know,
Nice.
that's just who I am. I mean, I guess that kind of come from my grandmother. You know, my
Yeah.
grandmother, she one of them old school. You know, she was one of them old school grandmothers that never shut her door to anybody. You know, she feed anybody. She, you know, you can stay the night. You know, I mean, her
That's what's
door
up.
was always open, man. She come
Yeah.
from down south, so she
Yes.
had that
Yes.
southern
Yes.
hospitality, and I kind of
Yes.
picked that up from her. You know,
Nice.
I kind of
Nice.
picked that
Nice.
up from her, man.
Nice. No, that's a. I think that's amazing. Is a great legacy to leave, that you do just simply just you want your name to be well spoken of. You
Yes.
know. Um, Pop. Last question. Four men you'd like to sit down and have dinner with, past or present. Four men, bro.
Malcolm X.
Mm.
Um, Malcolm X. Hmm. Martin, of course, Martin.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Malcolm Martin. Who else? Some people that I would want to meet right now who are still alive. You know
It's
what?
up to
Marvin
you.
Gaye, man. Marvin Gaye.
Okay.
That was my
Okay.
boy, man.
Okay. Okay.
Like I was a
Okay.
kid, man, but I loved
Yeah.
his music, man. And I
Yeah.
watched, you know, I watched that special that Don Lemon put together, you
Mm.
know, on CNN a few weeks ago, man. And it was like I was glued to the tube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was like
Yeah.
watching my favorite movie. But
Nice.
Marvin Gaye,
Nice.
man, I was a kid when he passed away,
Yeah.
but his music gonna live forever, man.
Does it? Yeah.
You know, so Malcolm, Martin, Marvin, you
All
know,
three. All
and
three M's.
um, and man, somebody that's alive right now that I would like to.
Past or present, bro.
Yeah,
Past or
I
present.
know, but I done
You want
chose three
somebody
men
to.
who are no longer
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Um, but you know, man, it's crazy, man, because it's so many that I would love to sit down and bust it up with. You
Right.
know,
You got one
man,
more.
you know, that's hard, man. It's hard, man, but it's really hard, man, because I'm thinking of a man like Denzel.
Mm.
You know, I'm
Nice.
thinking of a man
Nice.
like Samuel L.
Nice.
You
Nice.
know,
Nice.
I'm thinking of, you know, a man like a Spike Lee. You know, coming from a cultural and business mind at the same time.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Jay-Z. You know, Jay-Z. You know, he's a very very intelligent man.
Sure.
But if I had to choose,
one more,
a man that's alive right now, probably Barack, man.
Okay.
Barack, you know, because man, I mean, you got probably
that's an amazing conversation right there.
Man,
oh my gosh,
man,
that's an amazing
so much
conversation.
Knowledge.
Yes.
You know, and just to be honored to sit down with the first,
you
know, African American president, you know, that would be so special, man. But can you imagine sitting down with those four guys though? You got those four guys, like man, it's so much. All I can do is just sit and just listen.
And just soak it up, man. Soak it up, man.
Soak up all the knowledge, and gain that wisdom. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just, pass it on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but Barack will probably be, my guy who's alive.
Got you, man.
I wouldn't mind sitting down with Jim Brown.
Okay.
Like I said, Denzel, Jay-Z.
Yeah. Pop, you only got 4.
I know. I'm just thinking.
You think about it now.
Yeah.
But, it's amazing, man. The what that will look like. One of the things that I love in this space of being a content creator is the differences. When you think about Malcolm and Martin's, some of their approaches as being different. Marvin Gaye's, his his talent, being different in Barack. Sitting there. So I think that's a dope, man. A dope 4 that you guys sitting at the table. You soak it up, man. Pop, I definitely want to appreciate you, man, for joining me on Just Our Thoughts, man. Rasheed Pop Pollard, man, a dope, amazing dad of a clan of 10 who's standing in there, man, doing his thing. Pop, I wish you an amazing Men's Month, an amazing Father's Day, man. Continue doing what you do, man. I continue to pray. Yes. Continue to pray, man, that all things come to you, man. All of your wishes, man, all of your wants and all of your needs, man. This is Keith, man, with Just Our Thoughts here with Rasheed Pop Pollard. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, all streaming platforms. We just put one up right now on streaming platforms called A Father's Love. Go check us out on A Father's Love. Enjoy the conversation. Interact with us. And mess with your boy. Peace.
Thanks, man. Keith, I appreciate you, bringing me on, man. I appreciate it. Had a great time, man. And we've been friends for a long time, man.
Yes, sir.
Playing football together and you know what I mean? And just busting it up. And every time we see each other,
yes, sir.
It's all
Ain't
love.
Nothing but love. Nothing but love.
You're a man of God. You one
yes,
guy
sir.
that I know who's truly a man of God.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate that, man. I respect you and I love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Love you too.
And I appreciate you for having me on, man. Anytime you need me, hit me up. You know what I mean?
I got you.
If you bring a round table together, I
got you. Oh, I already got that. I got you. Yeah.
This is Keith, man, and I got you.
Got you. This is Keith for Just Our Thoughts. Peace.